The Ferret Inn is a non-profit, no-kill animal shelter for ferrets located in Columbia, Maryland. Nancy Wilson runs the business out of her home and first began the shelter in 1999. We're here today at the shelter to talk to Nancy and get to know more about the ferrets.
So my daughter at 13 decided that she wanted ferrets. And I had never been around them before. We were always dog and cat people. My love grew for them, and I started volunteering at a shelter and felt like I really couldn't make a difference because it just wasn't a good situation for the ferrets to be in. So we had a little family meeting, and I was not working at the time. I was stopped working to stay home with my daughter. And we decided that I could do a little shelter here, which turned into a bigger and bigger and bigger shelter. Ferrets do have a lot of health concerns, usually between the ages of 3 and 4, or actually I would say 4 or 5, but there are 2 illnesses that they particularly get. One is called insulinoma and one is called adrenal disease. And like I said, about 80% of ferrets develop it, and it does require maintenance, medication maintenance, or surgery. So it's an ongoing, problem because a lot of the ferrets we get in are that age, so they need the medical attention. So keeping the the money coming in just for vet bills alone is tough, and we have to be on our toes trying to do fundraisers. It's like an on and off button with ferrets. They're either running and playing and going crazy, or they're sleeping. There's just no middle time with them, and they're just very charming, and they're just constant entertainment. So. And they're very curious. They're burrowers by nature, or they like to get into dark places or tunnels or whatever. So there's nothing that stops them from getting into trouble, unfortunately. So any nooks and crannies they can find. So they're just very curious by nature, and at the same time are engaging because they like their humans. They like that interaction between people. It's very important to them. Most ferrets. Some ferrets just want to be ferrets. Other ferrets, they need you to complete them as you would. Oh, it smells so good, huh? See the little nose? It smells so good, yeah. Come over here, you silly. Come here, precious. Could you be any cuter? I don't think so. Could you be any cuter? Huh? Here you go. Here's your breakfast. Oh, boy. When I first got her in, she was really, really vicious, and it was just because it was a fear-based. She had fear-based biting because she's such a smart. The females have a tendency to be a little bit smarter than, well, I hate to say it, but they do. They're a little bit more inquisitive. When she was a baby, she was still is, very, very smart and very active. So whenever the guy that owned her would let her out of the cage, she would get into everything. I mean, if I let her out, she'll be up on top of this thing, and she gets everywhere. There's no place in this shelter that she has not been. It's really something that's not that common because not that many people really know about ferrets. I don't work outside the home, so this is what I do, and I pretty much focus my day on the shelter. In order to make these animals happy, it's not just about cleaning the cages, it's about interacting with them.